Welcome to the Backyard Bourbon broadcast. In this very special episode, Jeremy continues his interview with Shane Baker and Pat Heist, the co-founders of Wilderness Trail Distillery out of Danville, Kentucky. In this segment, we talk about the distillers' time in a local band and how it led to starting Wilderness Trail, and also talk a little bit about their own favorite bourbons. Thanks for joining us on this very special Distillers episode number 30 of the Backyard Bourbon broadcast. Your website has one of the greatest opening sentences in the company's About Us section. Quote, "In the late 90s, we were in a rock band together and quickly realized we needed to chase another dream." Now, kind of go into that. Was it because you were bad musicians, or because you wanted to make your own bourbon, or something else?
We really enjoyed being musicians, but we wanted to get paid. Yeah, and even though we kind of took it pretty seriously at the time, it wasn't anything that we were going to base a career off of.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things. You could drop it all and chase something and never really know. But yet and like I said, our backgrounds in science were probably more stronger than our backgrounds in music. But we definitely enjoyed it, but we just had a passion to really grow something and really apply, kind of our backgrounds in a way that we thought we'd be more successful. And the band unfortunately was not that.
Now, what kind of music did you guys play, and what instruments did you play?
So we played kind of like 90s, mid-90s, late 90s, even some early 90s, I guess, kind of rock, grunge rock.
Heavy
metal. I played the guitar. Pat was our lead singer, and our band name was Fulcrum, so the engineers won out in the naming scheme. We were the center point of the music industry, or at least we thought. We had the band for about 5 or 6 years, and we played a lot of gigs, and we did we just really had a lot of good time. Our families grew up during that process. We was kind of hanging out, and watching the families grow up and having band practice, and then as people's careers started getting more and more complicated, we knew what path, we all were going. And so Pat and I were, just kind of really good friends from a long time ago. And we decided, hey, we can do what we're doing for other people ourselves. We just got to, take it slow and give it a try. And I think that discussion was over a glass of bourbon, and we're like, hey, what better than this?
I've played in several bands for 20-some years, and just as a hobby, and it's funny that if you were to take up golf or, any other hobby, fishing or hunting, nobody asks you ever if you take up golf, so when are you going pro, If you're a musician and you're like, oh, I'm just going to play this club. Oh, well, when are you going to start recording records? When are you going live? When are you going on tour? Where can I get your poster? Nobody ever gives you the chance just to take it easy and relax with it. It always seems like it's got to have some end goal in mind. So
yeah, you always got to have legs, or be that one hit wonder. That was always in the back of we end the tune or come up with a new one. We're like, man, this could be it. But we had no exposure. We weren't passing out CDs to people. We weren't trying to get exposure. And when we would travel around, living out of the car, trying to start our business up, our customers would be, asking questions. What did you guys do? And we're like, oh, we played, somewhere this weekend. And they're like, man, we got to hear this. And that's where we kind of joked our biggest fan base became, from Iowa and Kansas, Nebraska, Texas. It was pretty much where all the large fuel alcohol plants were.
Now, what got you guys into bourbon? What do you like best about it?
If you live in Kentucky, there's just
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's synonymous with life here.
Yeah.
But
the process of making, and being, really, I don't think this hit, at least me, until not too long ago, because, we're just, we're here working. We're doing our day jobs, we're night jobs, weekend jobs, we're doing everything. But it really didn't hit me until recently when someone kind of mentioned it, that we're part of Kentucky history now. and as a distillery in Kentucky making Kentucky bourbon. And that's just really cool. I didn't think about that. That wasn't our underlying reasons, but I think that's probably the most cool thing is that we are making it, and we are doing it, and we're part of a long-standing Kentucky tradition that not only my family has been doing for a long time, and hopefully our families will be for a long time forward.
Right. Besides your product, what's one of your favorite bourbons, most favorite bourbons you've ever had?
Well, I mean, my go-to is Maker's Mark. It's a weeded bourbon. I mean, we pay a lot of attention to weeded bourbon. As Shane mentioned, his family's got history with Weller Distillery. So, some of those brands were well known, weeded, like Weller and those types of things. And those types of whiskeys remain as some of my top favorites these days. So weeded bourbons, I would have to say, and weeded, it's probably not even the category of word, but bourbons made with wheat have an affinity for me, and I don't know, I really don't. I try to enjoy a lot of bourbon, so I don't really have one specific, but I'm starting to like rye whiskeys. I've never really gave them a shot in the past because I was always really just a bourbon drinker, but I'm really liking some of the new ryes. Yeah, and some of our ryes are tasting delicious as well. But like Peerless Distilling, that's a new one that's out here in Kentucky. They got a really solid rye.
Yeah. The new
Heist.
Oh man,
Heist rye.
Dina dropped off the bottle. Man, that is superb. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the golden standard, I'd say.
Right.
It's a tough question to answer.
Yeah.
If I had unlimited funds, if I had unlimited funds for bourbon, then the answer would, my staple would be something probably more expensive. But day to day, I tell you, we talk a lot about the Heaven Hill bottle and bond 6-year-old that they sell here in Kentucky. I mean, for $12 a bottle, I mean, what can you do? That's a pretty solid price. But yeah, there's a lot of good bourbons. Larceny, that's another weeded bourbon that Heaven Hill's got. Really good. I mean, shit, I think we like every bourbon.
Yeah, I was going to say, sitting there trying to narrow it down, I'm just thinking about.
Yeah, we would have been better off listening to two that we don't make that list. Yeah. One cool thing about what we've got going on here, again, we do business with a lot of other distilleries, and so we have, we go into these other places on like a doctor visit, to help them out. I mean, we have the insider info what other distilleries have working knowledge of hundreds of other distilleries, what they do. I mean, even just being allowed through the door, on a tour at a distillery, you can learn a lot, but actually going in on a technical visit, the amount of information that we can, that's kind of helped us to lend into how we create our products here. That's one of the things that really sets us apart, I think, is the breadth of knowledge that we've got across many, many different distilleries.
Well, join us next time for part 4 of our interview with the co-founders of Wilderness Trail Distillery, where we talk about using different floors of the rick houses and what it does for the bourbon.